Beneath the billionaire's deal, Lorenzo Reyes, a handsome billionaire, was under pressure from his father, the chairman of a global corporation. To inherit the company, he needed to marry and have a child. Lorenzo sought a contractual marriage, someone willing to have a child in exchange for financial support. On the other side of the city, Eliza, a bright young woman who graduated at the top of her class, faced a crisis. Her mother was suffering from a life-threatening illness, and the medical bills were piling up. Eliza worked multiple jobs to keep her mother's treatment going, but it never seemed enough. One night, after another failed job attempt, she broke down in an empty alley. Racing through the streets, lost in thought about her mother's worsening condition, Eliza stepped into the road without looking and narrowly avoided a speeding car. A strong grip yanked her back to safety. It was Lorenzo. Their eyes met briefly, and something passed between them. "Be careful," he said, his voice deep and commanding. Eliza muttered a "thank you" and rushed away, embarrassed and overwhelmed. That fleeting encounter lingered in Lorenzo's mind. He couldn't shake the image of the determined yet vulnerable woman he had just saved. Intrigued, he ordered his secretary to track her down. His assistant handed him Eliza's impressive resume. After some quick research, he decided to offer her a deal. When Lorenzo approached Eliza, she immediately rejected it, unwilling to be bought, even with her mother's life on the line. However, as her mother's surgery urgency grew, Eliza felt trapped. Unable to bear the thought of losing her mother, she reluctantly accepted Lorenzo's offer. On the night they were to fulfill their contract, Lorenzo reserved a private room in his mansion. But as they stood face to face, he noticed Eliza's fear. She was shaking, her anxious eyes avoiding his. He felt a pang of guilt. "I can't do this," he muttered, stepping away. Before he could leave, Eliza grabbed his arm. "Please, I'll do anything. I need this job, and I need to save my mother," she whispered, trembling with desperation. Lorenzo looked at her, then slowly nodded. With great care, they began what was supposed to be a simple transaction. But as the night unfolded, their shared vulnerability took them by surprise. What started as a cold agreement evolved into something deeper. In the weeks that followed, Lorenzo found himself drawn to Eliza. Her strength and heart melted his icy exterior. Eliza, though initially guarded, fell for the man behind the billionaire facade. After their son Leo was born, their contract to marry and have a child was fulfilled. Both knew they had promised not to fall in love, but the separation after Leo's birth proved harder than expected. Lorenzo kept his promise and distanced himself, focusing on work. Eliza, heartbroken, convinced herself their relationship was always meant to be temporary. Eliza moved out, and both struggled with their feelings. Lorenzo's life felt empty despite professional success, while Eliza felt the same void, missing their connection. Months passed, and their suppressed love only grew stronger. When Leo fell ill, Lorenzo rushed to the hospital. Seeing Eliza again made him realize he couldn't live without her. He confessed his love. Eliza, overwhelmed, admitted she loved him too, but had kept quiet out of fear. They acknowledged their relationship had become something real, far beyond the contract. After Leo recovered, Eliza and Lorenzo reconciled and moved back in together. Their relationship, once a business deal, transformed into a true partnership. They raised their son, not as part of an arrangement, but as a loving family. Their bond, forged through patience and understanding, proved stronger than any contract. They lived happily ever after, choosing each other every day.